Any further discussion regarding item 6.3?
Yes. Under 6.3, it says savings have extended the need for construction management. In our extension, we're talking about $4 million worth of technology.
Brad? No, it's Series 3.
Okay.
So we have, and we'll give you, we are working on bringing you the exact total, but it's well over 3 million. It's bid safety, it's contingency and interest from Series 1 and 2 bonds, which will continue to do construction.
Okay.
The projects are large, need to be bid, reviewed, designed, and so between that and what we spend in general fund, we only have one director of operation left. This District 1 had three. We don't think we can put that burden on them and accomplish it in a year's time.
Okay.
And this was all reviewed at FFO.
So where's the list for us?
The list of?
This $4 million we're going to be spending that is part of savings.
Well, you keep using 3 or 4, and I haven't used 4 at any point in time. So the exact dollars is coming forward, and the list of projects will be coming forward as well. So,
Well, this says, I'm pleased to submit the following proposal for your consideration to extend the Barton Mallow Builders contract for construction management services for the 2022 calendar year. The cost of this work, including contingency and general conditions, is estimated at $4 million.
estimated at $4 million, and I've used the terms of over 3, and we'll bring the exact dollar amount forward to you.
So what is it? What are the projects?
We don't know yet. We have to,
So
we had 4 million in savings left over from Series 1 and 2. We got to figure out how to spend it within the confines of a bond that upgrade the district per what the voters gave us.
it all has to be within the bond language and meet the bond needs. We have reviewed some of those items and talked about some fencing needs, some roofing needs, those issues. The exact projects will be coming forward.
Okay, so if you look over the Barton Mallow executive summary of what we just received that we approved in this consent agenda, Series 1, 2, and 3 shows a total spend of $91,600,000 for Barton Mallow's total. The Midland Public School bond application approved total for same said schools is $107 million, a difference of $16 million. Do we have $16 million worth of work yet to do?
We do not.
Okay.
So I'm not
I
sure.
also
what
see
numbers-
that we
I
are,
have no clue what numbers you're using, Brad.
these are the totals in the
You said
executive
Series
summary.
3. You said Series 3, and that is
Series
not-
1, 2, and 3 totaled.
3 has not been sold. It is technology and busing.
Right.
So Barton Mallow would not be included in that. So we are
So
talking.
Barton Mallow is not going to be a part of Series 3 at all.
Correct. They have
Okay.
a 1-year contract with the leftover funds from Series 1 and 2, which came from bid savings, contingency, and interest.
Is that listed in the executive summary from Barton Mallow to show us this $4 million that we have yet to do in construction?
Are you asking, is the dollars listed in the summary?
Yes.
Brad, there's 16 pages in the summary.
Mhm.
You'd have to
I
go through and
summarized
ask.
them myself.
Well, you're putting me on the spot without giving me notice on that. But I will tell you that Lori and Barton Mallow are working on bringing you the exact dollar amount before we go forward. So with all the balancing,
Okay,
it needs
so-
to be done.
My issue might be with the total spend then. The Barton Mallow total spend predicted for 1, 2, and 3 combined together in that
And
summary
2.
is $91 million.
Series 1 and 2 is what Barton Mallow is involved in.
All the dollars are listed for Series 3 in part of the summary. So we have a huge separation of what the Barton Mallow total is that we approved
You're using the total
and what
bond.
the bond
totally
application
bond
total
dollars.
is for our schools.
You're using the total bond dollars, Brad,
Mhm.
which is Series 3. We are not talking about that. That is not in Barton Mallow's contract.
I understand that.
So
I'm
what-
asking,
What is left is over 3 Could be as high as 4. The exact dollars are coming to you, and the exact projects are coming to you. This is
Okay.
a staffing plan for Barton Mel to manage those projects, construction manage those projects we have at the 5%, slightly over 5%.
And you're going to be bringing those forward to us
Soon.
soon.
The dollars.
But we're going
dollars
to approve the
November,
construction manager before we approve the projects.
You do not need a construction manager.
I don't know.
5%.
I don't know
of
what the
total-
projects are.
Okay. Brad, bottom line is we know where you stand. Vote no tonight on it, okay? Because we can move on and do what we have to do as a district.
Answer his question.
The projects are coming forward. It's 5%
Fine,
of
move
the
ahead.
total fee.
I can vote my
And if you're
no.
uncomfortable, vote no.
If I can just offer an observation, Brad. We got the board packet last week. We all get it in advance of the meeting.
Yep.
And as Phil said, this is this spreadsheet, just the executive summary is a 16-page spreadsheet. I think we all read in advance of the meeting, and if we have questions, we say, hey, Mike, I got a question. He can then do the homework before the meeting and be prepared to answer your question. When you wait until the meeting, and I understand transparency is important, but when you wait until the meeting to ask the question, you can't expect him to be able to cite chapter and verse a 16-page spreadsheet. So if you want him to do the research, that's fine, but we're not going to have it before you vote on it. If you want it before you vote on it, ask him before the meeting so that he can include it in his report to the board, and you can vote accordingly. I mean, is there some other way that you think this should work?
Sure.
I'd just like to make a comment. One of the very first things that you learn if you go to the school board workshop is you never, ever put the superintendent on the spot when you have had a chance to not on the spot.
Thank you, Brad.
Thank you, Brad. I appreciate
I'd appreciate if you'd let me finish. It's not putting him on the spot to catch him. It is, you got 16 pages of information. Mike has a huge job. I don't know that your employees would want to put you on the spot when you're the one that asked for our reports to come on Wednesday, not Friday. You have almost a whole week. Why can't you pick up the phone and call Mike and say, I'd like to discuss this? Then bring the basics to the meeting. It's not to hide anything. It's to give Mike and Brian and the administrative staff in the business office a chance to do their homework, which we have hired them for. That is what I mean by putting on the spot. It's not to hide anything. I don't want somebody coming to me in a workplace and asking me a question that I haven't had a chance to reasonably find the true, accurate answer.
Brad, there's nothing wrong with the questions you're asking.
No.
It's all legitimate information, but in terms of process, it seems fair, not just to Mike, but to the rest of the board, that if you have a question that you want him to address at the meeting, get your board packet, read it, ask the question, so that Mike can come prepared to discuss it at the board meeting. That's all I got.
All good questions, but there's a process that's gone on over the years, and Mike, you can share it with them, or I can share it.
What process?
I ask a question. I've sent questions to Pam. I've sent questions to Scott, predominantly to Pam. Pam sends the question to the superintendent, and then the superintendent sends the question to Barton Mallow, our construction manager, and French Associates, our engineering firm, for comment and review. Their response is then sent back to the superintendent. If the superintendent approves, then he takes the response to the district's FFDC committee, a committee of the Midland Public School Administration Group. If they approve it, then it's brought to the Board of Education, Finance, Facilities, and Operations Committee for approval. If then they approve the response, it is posted directly to the website, and I wasn't contacted. That's how it's gone in the
These
past.
questions don't even fit that. The question you're asking, if you would have asked ahead of time,
Okay?
what the total dollar amount, we probably could have gone and got that. Lori and Barton Mallow are balancing all their spreadsheets to bring that total dollar. If you would have asked us, Brian could have chased that down. But putting me on the spot to look at 16 pages off the top of my head to give you the exact dollar amount is impossible.
I'm asking where the money is coming from.
I answer Series 1 and 2. Contingency, interest, bid savings. We set it for 5 months.
Okay?
Then we have over $3 million in that pot. The exact parts come forward. We've even talked about a broad base of the projects. That's how you approved the original construction manager contract. It was a broad base of projects that fit the bond language. This is the same thing, asking for staffing for Barton Mallow to do that again for 1 year for the dollar amount yet to come, $3 to $4 million. It doesn't matter because it's 5% of that dollar amount that they get for servicing us on that. The information is there. If you want more, if I had that on Wednesday, we probably could have got it for you. I can't walk into meetings and pop it off the top of my head and be accurate.
So we don't have, I'm just surprised we don't have a listing of what these future projects are?
If you would have asked me that, I could have brought you the broad list, but as you know, the exact work and all that comes to you after it's gone review, design, because that changes in that design and review process, and the exact bids, as you are doing for this abatement tonight, is approved with the exact details that you are looking for. If you would have asked me the prior, because we have those and we've talked about them in FFO, we could have told you, you've read them in the minutes. Some of them are in the minutes in the past. Help me, Brian. Fencing, roofing.
Parking lot.
Parking lot. That's a big one next door, the bus and grounds transportation. Several of those kind of projects. Track resurfacing at Dow High.
Yes, sir.
We could have gave them to you. I can't do it on Monday night with no notice walking into a board meeting, not knowing what your questions are going to be. And you can ask them in here. Just tell me to go do the research so I can bring it in and answer you.
Okay.
And I know you don't care for Barton Mallow. They've done a great job, and you have a right to vote that way.
I think we have multiple opinions of how they have done.
And I'll stand clearly, they performed outstanding.
Okay?
Okay, moving beyond opinions, anything else?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay. Motion carries. Thank you very much.